If there are any words that describe the first season of the Strength SMP best, it's those. Back when SMPs were on the rise in the Minecraft community, some players went to start their own servers, hoping that it would become as popular as the ones we've known for years at this point. But of course, most SMPs wouldn't even survive after launch day, or even get the chance to become something. However, the ones that did manage to make their presence known in the SMP community had that same chance, just as their inspirations did. Ty was one of those players who had that same hope as others, and he proved that with enough consistency and perseverance, you can do it. That's why the Strength SMP is as well known as it is today. But if you're watching this video, then you're probably curious about what this SMP has to offer. Well, the original twist for this SMP is PvP based. Whenever you kill a player, you become stronger, as if your body was enchanted. So if you were to kill 5 players, then you become 5 levels stronger. But if you die, you lose 1 level. And this can stretch out into the negatives. Normally, you would think that players would just kill each other for fun, but an incentive like that gives them an actual reason to do it. And just from hearing that, you can only imagine how much tension this can cause. And it caused a lot of tension. From cults to battles to wars, many conflicts came out of it. But behind those conflicts are the origins. So in this video, you'll have the first season's lore explained to you through the eyes of the owner himself. And this time, he'll be explaining his perspective on everything. Now without further ado, I hope you enjoy the lore of the Strength SMP's first season.
For the first month of the SMP, not much really happened. Sure, there were small fights on the server, but this was all just to get gear for the most important fight, the end fight. Why was this battle so important? Well, the Dragon Egg can reset everyone's strength back to 0, and a majority of people didn't want that. Most of them just wanted to keep strength as is, but a select few people wanted the opposite. A part of that group was me, OK Salem, Muppet, Nectis, and Ender Wizard. The 5 of us had a plan. Each of us would join a different team and turn on them after enough of their people died, making it so that everyone was outnumbered, and the plan worked flawlessly. So much so that Salem was able to get his hands on the Dragon Egg and do the right thing and successfully save the server forever. Is what I would say if 2 of the greatest Minecraft PvPers didn't join the very next day. Those 2 PvPers being Marlo and It's Real Me. Every Minecraft player who specializes in PvP knows how big of a deal this is, and they weren't just here for fun, they were here to kill everyone. So as soon as they joined, Marlo scheduled a date for her and I to fight in 2 days from then. I knew that there was no possible way I'd lose, because I've been killing players left and right, which boosted my strength count. However, when the day of the fight happened, everything changed for the worse. Marlo completely humiliated me, killing me in just a few minutes while only being at 0 strength. At that point, I was defeated, and the following day, a new empire arose. It was a mysterious cult. No one knew who they were, but they knew that they existed, because when everyone was offline, they would blow up builds at spawn and leave signs day by day with the signs saying, raided by the Mafia. It got so bad that 3 players known as Young Will, Dragon MC, and Pinity had to stay on 24/7 attached to the Mafia, but on Pinity's watch, they blew up another build. 2 days later, a stage was set up as spawn of the server, and here is where the Mafia was going to reveal themselves. Everyone was up on the stage talking about why the Mafia should be executed and why nobody seemed to like them, which is completely valid. However, when it was Pinity's turn, everything made sense. Turns out it was him. It was all him. He was the one who did all this, betrayed his closest teammates Young Will and Dragon, and ruined the server for his own personal enjoyment. As sadistic as they sound, there's a chance that he could have been lying. What if Young Will and Dragon both took part in it, blowing up their own builds and did it just so they can bring the server back together? Well, they did, and everyone was outraged by this, so a fight commenced. Many people from both sides died, but as they were expecting, the Mafia came out on top in the end. One of the people who were affected by this the most was Pancho. He was a bit newer to the server, and lost his base due to the Mafia griefing it. He also lost his items due to them killing him, and was at a very severe low point in his life, and that's when it hit him. He thought of a plan. He was going to fake his own death, hold a fake funeral, just to get revenge and kill everyone. See, after the Mafia saga, he made his own team with 4 other players who hated the Mafia called the Pearls, but he didn't want to tell them about his plan either. It's almost like he isolated himself from them completely, but he didn't care. He wanted to send a message, and that's exactly what he did. On the day of the funeral is when he revealed his true colors to everyone. He was power hungry and wanted to kill them all. That's when the unexpected happened. The former Mafia team started helping him. I guess they felt bad for killing him and ruining his base earlier. Now that he was a part of their team, he knew the inside scoop. That being that Salem was going to take control of the entire server by building a large stone wall surrounding every piece of property on the server. Not just that, but anyone who was opposed would die. No matter where they were, he always found a way to find anyone he wanted. But Salem knew this wasn't enough. Anyone could break stone, and not just that, but the minimum was using a wooden pickaxe. So he made the effort to join forces with Young Will, and they took this idea to a whole other level without consulting the team about it. What they were going to do was replace it all with obsidian, making it impossible to blow up, mine, and pretty much be 10 times better than stone. As expensive as it was, they found a way to construct an obsidian farm and successfully got all the required resources. And with that, they sent out a message to the server. Now, a few players on the team weren't agreeing with this. Those players being me and Pancho, and we didn't want to see the server end like this. So we did what we had to do and left the team, making a new one called the Wall Breakers. Jungle was outraged by this, so he decided a lava task behind the walls just to get our reaction, and it wasn't good. This led to multiple battles, but each and every war went in either team's favor. So Young Will offered me a proposition, a final fight at spawn. If we won, the walls would go down with their help. If we didn't win, then the walls and lava would stay up forever. With that, the final war started. At first, we weren't losing, until Young Will and Salem's entire team betrayed them and helped save the server. Every single player that stuck with Salem and Will died that day, and the destruction of the walls were very satisfying to watch. A month goes by, and the server is practically the most peaceful it's ever been. No fights, no conflict, but then it all changed.
And that's because, a few weeks later, a new SMP rose. But not just any SMP, it was the Reawaken SMP. In all seriousness, these videos take a pretty long time to make, and that's part of the reason why there's a 5-month gap between 2 of them. The video that was supposed to be released before McCartney stands had to be cancelled because of some complications I had trying to make it. But there's good news, because I still have some unreleased footage, which I'll be showing to my new membership community that you can be a part of. For a small price, you'll be able to see my works in progress along with segments of that video every week. So if you're interested in learning more about SMPs, or just want to see what I'm working on, then consider becoming a member on my channel.
You done yet?
Yeah, so what happened next?
The Dragon Egg came back. Salem still had it all this time, and the end dimension was completely transformed, so everyone gathered to fight in the end war again, but this war was more hectic than the last. Landmines were everywhere, and there were multiple deaths until the Dragon died. By the time the Dragon did die, Salem was alive and had won the end fight once again, keeping the ownership of the Dragon Egg. However, a player named Dragon MC blocked off the portal to exit using Bedrock? Apparently, he discovered a way to obtain this in survival, so he used it to block off anyone from ever being able to escape the end dimension. The only way to leave at that point was to fall into the void and risk all of your belongings. And with that, the end was inescapable. Or was it? You see, the only way to fix the end that we knew was by using cheats, which is what a player named Reversals used on the server. He used hack clients, end crystals, and even found a way to bypass the plugin and obtain netherite armor. This was bad because no other player had access to this, but me, being the same guy from the beginning that was practicing tons of PvP, was able to get myself to +5 once again, just to take Reversals down. And after a bit of searching, he had been located at spawn, and after some small talk, we began to brawl, and it was looking so even until the second half of the fight. I was obliterating him. Even with all the unfair advantages, I drained him out of every resource and was able to get the win. I was so victorious that I made him a promise never to cheat again, but just a few hours later, Strength SMP Purge happened. The border was shrunk to 1,000 blocks, with everyone trapped in it, but 2 players knew this was gonna happen. Flovey and Something Blue planned for this very day by making an entire skybase filled to the brim with warding, ready to send them down onwards at any point. Everyone else took this as an opportunity to get strength and kill those closest to them. There were countless betrayals and what seemed like endless murder, but eventually the entire thing ended. However, this hit me with a realization. I needed a teammate, a reliable one at that. So I hit up the only person I knew that could beat me, Marlo. Me and Marlo started trapping people together using historic Minecraft structures, with me building the Temple of Notch, the most legendary building of all time. I was so excited about it that I called up Marlo just to see how the trap would work. I led her to the entrance so she could get a better understanding of the trap, but in reality, this whole thing wasn't just to gain her trust, it was to break it, and get revenge after what she did to me the moment she joined. I was gonna try and kill her, and in the end, I was able to do it. The trap was a major success for me, and to go with it, Marlo lost everything. She was no longer at +5 strength, had no more items, and didn't know what to do. I, on the other hand, was so proud of myself, and at the most successful state I've ever been in. Also, remember my teammate Pancho? Well, at this stage, we weren't teammates anymore. We betrayed each other during the purge, and Pancho wanted revenge on anyone who wronged him, so we constructed a massive casino, filled with end crystals and warden, and to lure everyone there, he planned to sell illegal items. So after he finished building, everyone he invited was there, waiting for items to be sold. However, Pancho's trap turned out to be the worst thing he had ever done, because someone discovered the trap and activated it while Pancho was standing right over it. So as soon as Pancho was falling down his own trap, the wardens became ready to finish him off, and unfortunately for him, they did. The server only got worse after this. The old Mafia team came back and started ruining the server once again. They started lava catching spawn entirely, roofing it as well this time, and building TNT machines to blow everything up. But some players were fighting against it. They were able to kill them, but as soon as they did, all it took was 5 minutes for them to redo the damage they did. This began the very end of the server. The team of griefers were waiting at spawn, and the saviors of the server were heading there, and once they did, the final fight happened. Withers, deaths, cheats, hacks, illegal items, exploits, and so much more all happened in this very battle, to the point where nobody won. In fact, everyone died. Not one person survived this battle, and after everyone met up in the nether, where I had a huge announcement, I led everyone to a portal and revealed a copy of Spawn. It was perfect. Everyone was there, and then each and every one of them began making speeches about how much they enjoy the server and the friends they've made since. It was wholesome to say the least. At the end of the day, nobody cared about whose team was on, who killed who, because everyone on the server is tight with one another and are all great friends. And with that, the server shut down forever.
And that is the first season's lore, all from the perspective of the owner. Now, originally, I was going to cover both seasons in one video, but after Ty told me how long it was going to take for the second one to end, I decided that I would just separate it into 2 parts. But while you're here, I just wanted to thank you all so much for the support on the latest video. I know I started making SMP videos on this channel, but if you want to see more personal commentary like those, then let me know. If you also have any suggestions for anything else you want to see, then feel free to drop them in my Discord server. With that out of the way, thank you for watching, and have a good day.